Specific numbers recur with startling frequency across our most ancient stories. The rain falls for 40 days and nights in the biblical flood. Jesus fasts in the wilderness for 40 days. Even our modern calendar is built on a strict, repeating cycle of 7 days. These patterns appear even in practical guides, like Benjamin Franklin's 1744 almanac. He provided detailed charts for lunations and eclipses, following a tradition where root vegetables are planted in the dark of the moon, while flowering plants wait for the light. In symbolology, these common habits are known as exoteric practices. They are the visible rituals used by the masses. But every exoteric symbol usually has an esoteric origin, a specific, practical observation from the deep past that has since drifted out of public memory. To find those origins, we have to look back over 5,000 years to the plains of Mesopotamia. Many modern religious dogmas are the surviving, repurposed fragments of ancient celestial observations. For the early Sumerians, the environment was a series of lethal mysteries. Floods, storms, and seasons seemed to operate on the whims of invisible powers. The sun offered heat, but it was blinding and unchanging. The moon, however, provided a dynamic, repeating pattern that was easy to track. Because it was the most measurable object in the sky, early civilizations revered the moon as the supreme celestial ruler long before they focused on the sun. This diagram shows the moon's 28-day orbit around the Earth. The cycle breaks down into 4 distinct phases of 7 days each. Ancient societies marked these transitions with days of rest, establishing the 7-day rhythm that defines our modern week. The moon functioned as humanity's first reliable calendar, transforming time from an abstract terror into a measurable tool. This celestial tracking extended into human biology. Early observers drew a direct parallel between the 28-day lunar cycle and the human menstrual cycle. The math went deeper. Human gestation requires an average of 280 days. In the lunar system, that is exactly 10 months, or 40 weeks. This 40-week cycle of development is the likely source for the number's recurring association with periods of trial and transition in ancient literature. These numerical alignments elevated the moon to the great regulator, believed to physically control the tides, the fertility of the soil, and the literal generation of life. Early humans viewed their own biological existence as a reflection of these celestial mechanics. Over centuries, these observations were personified into living gods, turning the predictable movement of light into a divine narrative. In Babylon, this took the form of Sin, the moon god, and his daughter, Ishtar. As the goddess of procreation, she is depicted wearing a lunar crescent as a headdress, a physical reminder of her celestial role. Massive infrastructure was built to track these gods. The Great Ziggurat of Ur served as a towering platform where astrologer priests could elevate themselves closer to the heavens to map the moon's path. When archaeologists discovered thousands of tablets like this one in the 19th century, they realized these stories of creation and law predated the Bible by hundreds of years. The Code of Hammurabi, carved into this stone stele around 2050 BC, shows a sun god handing the law to a king. Many of the civil and religious rules established here directly influenced the later Old Testament laws of Moses. The foundational texts of modern faiths were heavily influenced by these much older Babylonian celestial observations. As empires fell, literal moon worship was cast aside, but the sacred numbers and cycles derived from it survived the transition. Evolving religions gave these ancient patterns more decorous, symbolic meanings. A lunar quarter phase became a holy week. A 40-week gestation period became a period of spiritual fasting. Tracing our beliefs to their astrological origins reveals a deeper continuity. Every time we look at a calendar or read a religious text, we are participating in a 6,000-year-old human tradition of trying to find order in the universe.